Hi guys, welcome back to Picture in World of Tanks where everyone can get lucky sometimes. And right now I'm going to do a video about how to play the E50. This is the Tier 9 German medium tank uh, from the E50M path. Now before we go into the some footage of the battle that I do in my E50, right now I'm going to highlight some of the characteristic of the E50. Now E50, you could say that it is a Tiger 2 on steroids because basically it has the same armor but better mobility and gun, just as you can see in this comparison. Now you'll see the hull armor is the same, 150 millimeter in the front, 80 in the side and in the rear. The turret armor is also the same, 185 millimeters in the front and 80 millimeters in the sides and rear. And if you angle the armor about 45 degrees, the upper part of the hull can goes up, I believe, around to 250 millimeters of armor, and the lower part of the lower places can go up to, I believe, it's 200 millimeter. And you can also use the side armor to side scrape effectively, especially against the lower tier enemies. Now in terms of mobility, E50 has a really good top speed, about 60 km per hour. However, it has very poor traverse speed. It only has 32 degrees per second of traverse speed, and also the specific power or horse to ton ratio is also not very good. It only have around 14 specific power. So this means that just like the Panther 2 or even the Panther, the E50 is good for long range maneuver, but it is very poor for short range maneuver. It's fast but not agile. Next is about the gun. The E50 uses the 105 millimeter caliber cannon. It has 220 millimeters of penetration and 390 alpha damage. Now the 220 millimeter of penetration usually is enough to deal with most of the tank that it can meet because the gun is very accurate and aim relatively very fast. And of course, you can also choose to use the APCR or the premium shells, which has 270 millimeters of penetration, just in case you need to have the extra penetration for a hard to penetrate target. Moving next to the equipment, my choice of equipment for this tank is gun rammer, vertical stabilizer, and coated optics. Of course, you can switch the coated optics to ventilation class if you want, but I kinda optimize this for the view range because the extra view range will definitely help if I want to do a long range to I mean medium to long range support fire. The upgrade path or the grinding path for this tank, I think it is better for you to get the track, the turret, the top gun or the 105 millimeters cannon, and then the engine. But of course, there is also an alternative path, that is to get the track, the L100 gun, then the turret, then the Top Gun, the 105 millimeters cannon. The reason for this is that the L100 has better penetration than the L71, which means you can deal damage more consistently, which means you can then grind the other modules more consistently. But of course, the choice is yours. If you think that 203 millimeters of penetration is enough to deal against tier 9 and 10s, then the first upgrade grinding path is probably the better choice for you. If not, use the second one where you grind for the L100 gun first. In conclusion, my general playstyle is that when I'm against tier 10 tanks, I'm usually become the second line fire support or flanking sniping, which is taking a flanking position, then deal the enemy from medium to long range. If, however, I'm on top tier, then I have the choice to be heavy tank substitute because to its armor, this thing can brawl really well, especially against lower tier tanks. And that is my general thought about the E50. And right now, let's take a look at some battle. Now in this match, I'm on the Tundra. This is a tier 9 game. The enemy has three tier 9 tanks, including 2 heavy tanks and one very dangerous tank destroyer, the T-30. So at first I'm trying to flank this corner and see if I can spot any tanks moving uh, to the line 1 of the map, but I cannot spot anything. So I move up to the town part of this side of the map because in this part of the map I can side scrape using the buildings and use my armor effectively. And right now I'm going to chase this AMX 12T and hopefully we can get some shots. But no, I missed and I got spotted. And to be honest, that IS will have very slim chance to penetrate my tanks, especially if I side scrape like this. And of course, the IS have very poor aim, very poor accuracy. So yeah, I don't think he has a chance to penetrate the E50. And there is another tier 7 tanks. It's A44. Now I'm not really sure about the penetration on the A44, but he just shot me with the premium shells and yet it bounced. So I guess it is pretty safe for me to push forward to this part, especially because line 1 already fell in favor of my team. So I try to make a shot to that A44 that is running, and oh, that's the Yak Panther, and oh, there's one M103 and he just shot me with a big hit. So I try to take out the Yak Panther first, and oh, there's a Black Prince. I think the Yak Panther is AFK, so I kill the Black Prince first, and he managed to penetrate me, so I move back and forward to avoid hits on my lower glacis. So I get shot by the T29, which is kinda lucky because he is using the HE. If the T29 uses the AP round, he will be able to penetrate me reliably because I was side scraping too much, and I just got hit by the MX50 100. 2 shells hit and 1 bounce. So I got a very low health, so I decide to deal with this in M103 because I got backup from the Jack Tiger 88 and the IS. So the M103 seems to be interested on me because I'm on very low health. So I retreat and side scrape and put a shot, and he bounced off me. I think he shot at my gun mantlet or so. I'm not really sure. But it's always a good thing to bounce from the enemy, especially if the enemy is a tier 9 heavy tanks. So we are being capped right now, and I advance toward the hills, hoping that if I can take the hills, then I can overview the enemies both in our cap circle or and in the enemy cap circle. So I push forward, hoping that the MX-50B is reloading and hiding so that he cannot spot me. And oh, in my right, I mean, there's a IS-8, and so I plan one shot to his sides. Uh, Again, 200 millimeters of penetration is more than enough to penetrate the side of the IS-8. Trying to get shot at him, but he retreat. So I continue to advance to the hill. While looking at the IS-8, who knows if he come back to the bridge, then I can finish him off. So that's the MX-50 100, and he doesn't seems to spot me. This is nice, so I come around and hopefully I can put one shot from his behind. And oh, that is the enemy IS-3 trying to run to his cap, but our cap, I mean, but I finish him off. And the MX 5100 is retreating, and I put one snapshot to him and I kill him. So next, I'm going to pick this uh, hill, and hopefully I can spot the enemies, especially the IS-8, because there's only two tanks left. Now the IS-8 is last spotted near the enemy base, while the Ferdinand is last spotted on the northern part of this map. So I do some pick using my excellent view range, boosted with the coated optics. It has this tank has 465 uh, meters of view range. So I did spot the IS-8, but he also spotted me. So right now I'm trying to defend this hill and tries to wait for him to come up this hill, and hopefully I can finish him off. Although that's probably very hard thing because this uh, because if he come from below, that means he expose his turret first, and the turret in IS-8 is very hard to penetrate. And oh, that's the IS-8. Oh, and there's a tree falling in front of me. Oh, and there's the Ferdinand. So I put one shot, but I do not know where the shot goes. Probably I take a strike, so put another shot, but the Ferdinand managed to kill me. But it's okay because we have this game. The Ferdinand is tracked, and my ally finish him off. So the result of the battle, I got 6,000 of experience. I believe this was on triple, And I got the mastery badge, ice tanker, high caliber, and several of medals. I finished first on damage and experience earned. I did 5,700 damage and received about 2,500 of potential damage, which shows how good the armor on the E50 is.
Maju sampai titik darah terakhir.
And this will be the second replay of the video. This is again a tier 9 uh, battle, but right now we have more tier 9 in this game, so I need to be more careful and try to survive as long as possible. So I immediately head to the eastern part of the map, which is the city part, because, well, as I already said earlier, this tank has a very good armor and can side scrape very well. And check out the speed of this tank. Even though this tank is not agile, it has a very good top speed, so I can go to strategic position and ambush the enemy quite fast. There is enemy IS-8 over there, but I did not manage to ambush him. But there's a T-34,
Itu akan sangat
but
menyakitkan.
I bounced out of him. So I set scrape on this corner, and of course because there are a lot of bushes in front of me, the 34 did not manage to uh, spot me even though I shoot him. And again I
Tembakan
tried to shoot
membantu.
at the T-34, which is side scraping very well, and this just
Tembakan terbantu.
shows how noob I am. I mean, he's side scraping, and he's side scraping very well. It is most likely impossible for me to penetrate the T-34, but
Tembakan kita membantu.
no, I keep shooting at him, hoping that I can hit his engine at the back, but thankfully our artillery saves me from the embarrassment of the noob gameplay. Otherwise, I will probably keep shooting the T-34, which is subscribing very well. Of course, I'm not trying to say that I am not a noob. Well, I am a noob, but you know, this is supposed to be my lucky gameplay, you know, because the motto of this channel is noobs get lucky sometimes, and when noobs get lucky, they do not look like they are noob, or at least that's what I'm hoping so. And again, this is a very noob thing to do. I mean, I do not have any clear shot of these enemies in front of me, and yet I do not immediately relocate. And oh, I got spotted, and thankfully I kind of know that it is useless to be in that position any longer, so I try to relocate to a better positions. So right now I'm thinking to move at the center so that hopefully I can shoot the tanks on the east, the lower, I'm not pretty sure. The lower, the 516, the IS-8, and the other tanks that are in there. So well, there's T-34 in front of me. Oh, the MX just got nailed by our team, but he also got nailed by the uh, enemy artillery. Oh, and that's the T-44. I shot him once, and he shot my tracks. So I charged forward, and ooh, I just got a very big hit from the IS-8. But the good thing is that now I know that I can shoot the IS-8 from here, although I'm not really sure where that shot went, and try to hit the lower, but again I'm not really sure where the bullet went. It doesn't do any damage, strange enough. And oh, that's the T-34, and I decided to go for the T-34, then flank the lower and fence so that I do not get shot from behind by the T-34. And oh, the 34 tracked me, and I got
Kita tidak dapat
hit by the
bergerak.
Stuart Emil. Prepare my track immediately because I do not want to get another hit from the tank destroyers who I'm not sure where they are camping. And oh, that's the lower.
Tank lawan terkena
Shot him once,
tembakan.
and the bushes seems to conceal me, and he's disappeared. But I try to blind shot the lower. Hopefully that I can um, still hit him because he's still in it there. So I charge forward, and oh, it doesn't seem that my plan shot went in.
Tank
Oh, but
lawan
there's
rusak
a
parah.
object
Target sudah dimiliki.
416 and try to ram him, but I misses. Unluckily,
Tank lawan
his shot
tertembak.
is bounced, and I shot him again, and he
Tidak
shot my
dapat
track,
bergerak. Mencari target
and
lain.
I shot
Telah
his
tidak
track,
diperhatikan.
stop him dead, and I'm not really sure why
Track berfungsi
his
kembali.
gun
Ayo,
is
maju
facing
lagi.
not to my tank, but that's a good thing. So we are losing, I suppose. Well, not losing, we are being capped, and try to blind shot the E75. The E75 exposes his sight, so try to
Tank
shot
lawan tidak
his
tergores.
track so that um our team can easily shoot at him, but it fails, and I got spotted. Try to shoot that T-29 who is charging forward and get tracked in the middle of
Tank
the
lawan
map,
berhasil
and I
dihentikan.
finish him off. So I still using this push to snipe at the enemy, hopefully
Tidak
without being
berhasil
spotted.
menembus.
And I shot the E75, but it fails. Ooh, and that's the Object 704,
Tembakan
very
membantu.
dangerous tank. And the Object 704 has very good frontal armor, and it's
Tembakan
kind of
kita
sloped,
membantu.
so it is very hard to penetrate from here, especially because I cannot pinpoint at these lower
Berhasil menembus
places.
lapisan baja
But
mereka.
finally, I managed to damage him and reset cap. Wait, did I reset cap? I'm hardly sure. I did not pay attention, but shoot. Uh, I shot few blind shot in here, and hopefully I can hit something. And ooh, the side of E75. Yes, please. Come on, come on.
Tank
And
lawan
I kill
hancur.
the E75. And now there's only Object 704 in our cap. And aim at him,
Tank
shoot
lawan
him.
terkena tembakan.
And my friends also shoot him, and he is on 1 health. So can I get him? Come on, reload. And oop, yes,
Sempurna.
I managed to kill him. One shot, 1 health. Well, a kill is a kill, right? But I think I made a mistake. There's still T-54 behind that 704. So, and oh, that's him retreating, and I
Bagus sekali.
sniped him. So I got spotted. I'm not really sure whether the one who spotted me is the T-54, because even though a tank is dead, he can still spot from the team for a few seconds after he's exploded or dead. So I'm not really sure. It could be the T-21 because the T-21 is a light tank, so it is normal that there is a possibility that he is sitting in the bush around here and spotted me while I'm killing the T-54. But he doesn't seems to be in here, so I continue to press forward, and I'm heading to the A1 section because that's where normally the SVGs are hiding. But of course, I still need to be very careful because they still have the Stuart ML, and even though it is a tier 7 tank destroyer. It is a very dangerous one. I think I can deal massive damage. I think it's about 500 damage, even though it comes from a tier 7 tank destroyer. So I need to be very, very careful. In here, I still can take one shot from the Stuart Emil, I believe. But if the M12 shotgun me in here, then I will
We need
probably.
to
Oh, I
change
got
our
spotted.
position.
So there is a tank around here. I'm not really sure. Probably the Stuart Emil. But then, of course, it can also the T21 or the SPGs, the M12. So I request for backup. I wait for my allies to arrive so that if I got shot by the enemy, hopefully I can still spot him and my allies can finish them off. So my allies is near, so I move forward and oh, that's the
Brace yourself. They found us.
T21 and also the Stuart Emil over there, and my friend shoots the Stuart Emil. So I retreat. Oh, and he shot me and deals 490 damage. I shoot him once though, and then I kill him because I think the Sword Emil has very long real time, and this the 20 T21 tried to charge me, but I ram him because well, it is a 50-ton tank, so it is very heavy because it has a very good frontal armor, and oops, the M12 hits me. Well, anyway, back to the ramming of the 5021. I mean, T21 will not stand a chance if it get rammed by E50, and probably none of the light tanks are. And so the M12 decided to kill himself, and that's the end of the battle. So let's see the post-game stats. So I got Ace Tanker, High Caliber, and Top Gun for the 7 kills, and also I got 4,300 of experience and 17,000 credit profits. That is a profit, not the credit earns. The credit that I earned is actually 74,000 credits, but of course it deducted by the repair costs and ammo costs and consumables. I only managed to get 17,000 credits, and of course I finished first in terms of uh, experience and also damage dealt. And if you look at the potential damage received, I received 2,300 damage, potential damage, which again shows how good the armor on the E50 is. So that's the E50. It has great all-around armor, and also it has very accurate punchy gun. And that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope this video can be helpful in some ways, and if you like it, please share and thumb up the video, and don't forget to subscribe to get more video from me in the future. And that's for it today. I'll see you next time.